Right, so let's stand facing the left side of your mat. All right, take a deep breath in through your nose, hands come together. Exhale, press the hands down. One more time, inhale. And exhale. All right, this time let's take a deep breath in. Roll the shoulders down and back, squeeze your glutes, push the hips forward and reach back. Don't want to go super deep, just kind of squeeze the glutes and roll the shoulders down. Now let's inhale, come back to center. Exhale and forward fold. So you can use a block and put your hands on top of it, or you can just get fingers, bend the knees as much as you need to, and let's bicycle the legs just a little bit to get started. Bend the knees as much as you need to, and we're going to step back with the right leg. Lift up the chest in your lunge. Brace your hands on the ground. Let's step back into down dog. So we want to push our hips up to the corner where the ceiling meets the wall. Knees are as straight as we feel comfortable, and we want to push our heels towards the floor. So while we're here, let's actually bicycle the legs just a little bit, press the heels towards the ground, and then bend the knee in towards the chest. And if we can, let's try to relax the shoulders and rotate the elbows until they face towards the ground. All right, go ahead and hold your down dog. From here, let's lift the belly and roll forward. We're gonna come to a plank. And I've been working on lifting my head in my planks a little bit, so let's squeeze the armpits, pull the chin up. Drop down to the knees, and let's bring our chest all the way down to the floor. Squeeze the elbows in tight. Keeping the elbows squeezed in tight, roll the shoulders down and back, lift the chest, and squeeze the glutes. Curl the toes under, and from here, press up and push the hips back. Now let's bend our knees and come to a flat back, and we're gonna be in a crouch. Knees go underneath the hips. Option 1 is to set the knee on the ground, the knees on the ground. Option 2 is to stay right here. Let's take our left foot, put it between our hands, straighten the back leg, and lift the chest. Let's go ahead and plant to the right hand on the ground, bring the fingertips towards the ceiling, and turn the chest towards the knee. Come back and frame the foot, lift up the chest. And we're going to step back again into down dog. Let's lift the belly, roll forward, squeeze the armpits, come to the knees again if you need to, and we're going to come this time down to 1 inch off the ground. Squeeze elbows in tight, keep the shoulders and hips about the same height. Lift the chest, straighten the arms, and lift the thighs off the ground if we're going to go into up dog. Keep the glutes squeezed as we roll the feet under, press the hips back up. Let's come back to our crouch, bending the knees, bringing the shoulders on top of the wrists. Sit back into your crouch, and let's take the right foot between the hands and straighten the back leg to a lunge. Plant the left hand this time, right hand goes up towards the ceiling, chest towards the knee. You can always open to the other side if you need to. Exhale, bring the hands down, lift up the chest. This time, let's step our feet together. Hold your forward fold, soften the knees if we need to. Let's roll up. Inhale at the top. Exhale, roll the shoulders back, squeeze the glutes. Come back to the center and back to forward fold. Bend the knees as much as we need to brace the hands. This time, let's take our left foot back, lift up the chest. Brace the hands, step back into down dog. Lift the belly, roll forward. Squeeze the armpits. Lower all the way down or 1 inch off the ground. Press up, squeeze the butt, thighs off the ground. Weight is in the top of the feet. Press up into down dog. Slide forward into your crouch. Sit back, and let's take our left foot between our hands and straighten the back knee. Brace the right hand, lift the left fingertips to the ceiling. Squeeze the shoulder blades rather than just reaching. Come back to frame the foot and lift the chest. Brace the hands, let's step back in a down dog again. Lift the belly, let's roll into plank. Lower slow, crocodile. Driving through the tops or the bottoms of the hand, that would be your palm. And then pressing the hips into the ear again. Last round of this sequence, let's go back to our crouch. Flat back if we can. Sit back, right foot between the hands. Straighten the back leg, lift the chest. Plant the left hand, lift the right. Again, trying to roll from the shoulder blades, not just reaching behind. Come back to center, lift the chest again. Let's step the feet together. Inhale all the way up. Exhale, reach back. Inhale back to center. And let's exhale our hands down. So this time, let's take our right foot and step back into warrior one. So we want our hips to face the side of the room. So if we're facing the front, we want to face this way. And we're going to start with our hands in the air and exhale into your warrior one. So we want a nice straight back leg using the quad to direct the energy into the heel. And on the front leg, we want to have our heel pressing into the ground and the knee right on top of the ankle. If this is not a challenge, your next challenge is going to be to do the same thing, but with a more parallel thigh. Keep pushing the knee towards the pinky toe. So we're going to take our hands and go forward. So we're holding, squeezing the butt, keeping the shoulders down. Now let's take our right hand, make a 90-degree angle with the elbow. Left hand comes underneath. We can either cup the arm at the shoulder or lower. We can bring our hands back to back, or we can tie them up. So from here, let's pull the shoulder blades apart, tuck the chin into a double chin. Now this might be tricky. Feel free to unfurl if you need to, but we're going to step up. That right leg stays nice and light. I don't have a lot of weight on it. I can stay right here, or I'm just going to take that knee and set it right in front of the left. I'm going to sit back into this twisted eagle variation. If you'd like more, you can always lift the toes off the ground and even wrap the foot around the calf. I'm not there yet. I keep my toe on the ground. So let's inhale, lift the fingertips to the ceiling, pulling the shoulder blades apart. Now pretend someone's pulling your fingertips towards the side of the room. We're going to hinge forward, keep the wrist and the forearm in alignment with the spine. Okay, go ahead and unwind. From here, hands come down to the hips. Let's slide the right foot back. We can stay in this tilted position, or with our palms facing the ground, we're going to come up to warrior three. Squeezing the glute, keeping the leg in alignment with the spine. Roll the shoulders into back pockets. If you'd like a little more, bend the knee and keep the hip and the toe facing the ground. Very nice. Bring the feet together. Inhale up. Hands together. Exhale, reach back. Squeeze the glutes. Roll the shoulders down. Inhale back to center. Exhale the hands down. Let's take our left foot back. Set up your warrior one. Hips face the side of the wall. Inhale the hands up. Relax the shoulders down. So we want to, what I'm working on is trying not to arch. I want to drop my ribs and pull my belly in. So I really have to squeeze the left glute. And my next goal is to get my leg a little more parallel to the ground,
but only as much as I can do without losing my knee on top of my ankle and pressing towards the pinky toe. Now let's bring the hands down, exhaling. This time, let's bend our right arm. Put the left, oh, I did that wrong. Bend your left arm. Put your right arm underneath. You can either hold the shoulder, go hands back to back, or we can hook. A couple of you guys are going to be able to like make your fingers interlace. I can't maintain that for very long. So let's go ahead and set up shoulders forward, tuck the chin. And again, if you can maintain this arm position, keep it. If you need to let it go for a moment, do that as we step up. Left toe or left ball of foot is on the ground. We can stay right here, or we can cross it over. Just make sure to put the right knee into the cup of the left knee. And if you want it, you have your single foot stance with the toe pointed or wrapped around the calf. Let's inhale, fingertips go to the ceiling, pull the shoulder blades apart. Exhale, hinge the hips back, like someone's pulling you forward and your chest and your forearms are one long line. Okay, bring all of that up and together. This time, left foot goes back, ball of foot is on the ground, arms in alignment with the spine. Anywhere from here to parallel, we come forward, arms stay high, and the leg stays the same height as the spine. If you'd like more, bend the knee, sink into the stance. That's where you can tell I come from martial arts because it's actually a pose. Go ahead and set that down and bring the feet together. Big inhale. Exhale, reach back. Come back to center. And exhale the hands down. How'd that feel? All right, so let's do some stuff on the floor. We're going to start with a kneeling stretch, and I think I'm going to need to move my camera.
Yeah.
So let's come down onto all fours. Knees go underneath the hips. We want to squeeze the butt again. I'm working on lifting my head so it's not sinking between my shoulders. Go ahead and spread the fingers out. And let's take our right foot next to the right hand, and I want to pin that knee to my shoulder. So I'm still squeezing my shoulder blades down and back, and I want to start sliding my left knee back. So as I do this, I'm lifting the chest, squeezing the shoulder blades down. I don't really have a preference on if your toe is bent or extended. We just want to make sure that we keep the knee on top of the ankle and the knee right on the shoulder. Now, if you're pretty flexible, you can also come down onto the ground. For whatever reason, I'm pretty bendy in some directions, but not in that direction. I'm still working on that one. All right, if you're on your elbows, go ahead and come back up to the hands. Next option on this one is to brace the right hand on the elbow and look over your right shoulder. So same thing as before. We don't want to let this knee come out. There are times when we want to do that, but not right now. I want to keep this knee steady. Next option is to extend the fingers to the back of the room. But again, only if we can reach using our shoulder blade first. So I can reach back with my arm without doing anything else. Now, if you're feeling pretty bendy today, come up to a neutral position, still on one knee. You're going to take your left hand, wrap it to the other side of the knee. This is just an option. What I like to do is then bend my elbow so that I already have the elbow pressing my knee towards my torso. Then I press my hands palm to palm, fingers spread apart, and I press, pushing my shoulder blades together. So that way I'm using my leverage to rotate myself around. And again, if you're feeling pretty bendy, straighten the knee. I can't do that for very long today, maybe next time. All right, exhale, go ahead and transition, bringing the hands down, then to the ground. And you can either switch legs or turn with me. I'm just turning so you can see both sides. So let's reset on all fours. This time we're bringing the left foot up and right next to the shoulder. So same setup. And even though I know where I'm going with this, I still want to run through all the options so I can make sure I'm set up for each position. So slide the knee back. I want to keep my chest forward and my left knee pressed in. And if I can't do that, then I may have gone too far back with my right knee. And again, if you're pretty bendy in this direction, we're going to put the elbows on the ground. Otherwise, you stay with me and you have your hands down. All right, if you're on your elbows, come up to your hands. Left hand goes to the knee. We rotate so the chest faces the knee. And if we can maintain this position with the knee in, we extend. I like to roll my shoulder blade in and then unfurl my hand. If this is all we want today, this is all we have to do. But if we'd like it, we come up to a more neutral position. This time, right hand comes across. The elbow crosses over behind the knee. I'm bending my elbow, palms together, then pressing as I rotate, pushing this knee in and rolling my shoulder blade, my top shoulder blade towards the spine. If you want it, curl the toe under, come up to a lunge position with the knee off the ground, returning to the knee down anytime we need to. All right, let's go ahead and land this. Bring the hand back to support, rotate back around, and let's bring the knees underneath. All right, so next set, we're gonna actually do a camel pose, and we're gonna do this modified version. Whichever direction you're facing is fine. I'm starting with my knees apart and my toes together. And what I'm gonna do here is roll my shoulders down and back, place my hands at the base of my spine on either side, and I'm gonna push my hips forward. Squeeze the glutes, and once the glutes are squeezed and we press the hips forward, then we're gonna roll our shoulders down into back pockets, and you'll notice that this is very similar to our baby back bend that we did during the sun salutation. Now, if you'd like to transition to something more, let's take the left hand, set it on the ankle, stay just like that, or we can lift the right hand. If we can, lower the ribs, pull the belly in. All right, bring the right hand back to the hips, come up to center, and let's go into child's pose. Sit down and back, stretching the arms forward. All right, let's come on up one more time. Let's roll the shoulders down and back, place the hands at the base of the spine, press the hips forward, roll the shoulders down and back. I'm squeezing my elbows in tight. Exhale, and if you like, drop the right hand to the ankle. Option to lift the left hand. We want to keep squeezing the butt, pushing the hips towards the wall, keeping the ribs down and the belly in. All right, let's transition the hand back to the back, come to the center, sit back into child's pose one more time. All right, so just a little bit more core work. Let's go ahead and curl our toes under, straighten the legs, and let's come to a down dog. Same down dog as before. Fingers are spread wide, shoulders are away from the ears, and I'm pushing my heels towards the floor. I'm gonna take my left foot and lift it towards the ceiling. This is one of those moves, three-legged dog, that if you can get your foot all the way to the ceiling, that's awesome. If we're parallel or lower, that's okay too. We want to keep our hips square for this one. Now what I'm going to do is point my toe and bend my knee. I'm pointing my toe towards my right hip. Now, keeping that toe up, I'm coming forward into a plank. My foot's still off the ground. You need to drop to the knee at any time you can. Toes at the ceiling.
Now let's come onto our knee for a plank here. Now what I'm gonna do is I've got my toe up, and then I'm gonna bring it into the side. Toe comes up, and then into the side. Now if doing this in a knee plank is too much, we can come into a quadruped position, knee in, toe up. We just want to make sure that we can rotate the knee or the hip in the socket so that we're moving the leg as one unit. One more time, take it back and up. Good, bring that down and let's go to down dog one more time. Fingers wide, press the hands into the ground. Think about the U shape of the palm. All 5 toes driving the balls of feet into the ground. Now let's lift our right leg again, anywhere from straight to full extension to the ceiling. Point the toe, bend the knee, and let's point it towards the left hip this time. This is always one of those poses that I feel like I look really cool in, and then I look at the picture and I'm like, that did not look like it felt. All right, so let's come into our plank, leaning forward, keeping the toe facing the ceiling. Once you've come to your plank, toe is still up, we can drop the knee and be in a plank on your knee. Keep the toe to the ceiling. Let's bring the knee to the elbow. Rotate back up. Knee to the elbow. Again, circling the hip, the joint in the hip socket, because we want this to be one solid movement. We can do this high, we can do this low. It just depends on where we are today. One more time. In and up. Good, relax. Sit back in a child's pose. So let's go, I'm gonna turn this way. I'm gonna turn the other way. We're gonna do that one more time. I'm sure you're thrilled. All right, let's come back to all fours. Curl the toes under, press the hips up. We're gonna do this one more time. I just turned to face the other way so that we can see it on the other side. Let's lift our left heel to the ceiling. So again, fingers wide, shoulders away from ears, and really squeeze the armpits. Now let's point our toe, bend the knee until we are pointing to our right hip. But we want to keep our hips level. So take a deep breath in, exhale, and let's come to a plank slowly, dropping to a knee anytime we need to. Bringing the hips about shoulder height, and then dropping the knee down. Stay in your knee plank or switch into a quadruped. You're going to come in and up. 3, exhale, 2, and up. 1, and hold. Good. Bring the knees apart, toes together, sit in a child's pose. Relax the shoulders, relax the hips. We just have one more of these. All right, back to all fours, toes under, press into down dog. Think about rolling the elbows towards the floor. And again, spreading the fingers wide. And we really want to rely on our structure as we get tired. So let's lift our right heel to the ceiling, squeeze the butt hard, and keep the toes pointing towards the ground. Now point the toe to the ceiling, bend the knee so that we're pointing the toe to the left hip. Keeping the hips flat, let's come forward, toe comes to face the ceiling. I bring my hips about shoulder height, theoretically, we'll know when I look at the video. Dropping the knee to come to a knee plank, or coming into a quadruped position. Knee in, and up. 3, and up. 2, and up. 1, and up. All right. Let's go ahead and straighten the legs, walk the feet up to the hands, and let's come up to a standing position. Shake it out just a little bit, shake out the hands. Did you like that?
All right. Let's bring our feet just about hip width apart. Doesn't have to be super close together. We're gonna do a few hamstring stretches and then we're gonna call it a day. So inhale the hands up. So when we exhale down, push the hips back, reach forward, almost like we're doing that twisted eagle, and then come all the way down. So for this one, we want to focus more on the hamstrings than on the forward fold. So let's see if we can, and again, you can use blocks and things like that if you need to. So let's start at the head, relax the face, and let the top of the head point directly to the ground. Inhale, and when you exhale, let the shoulders relax towards the ears. Let's let the spine relax. Exhale, relax the belly, soften the knees if it's too much pressure. All right, let's roll up. Inhale and exhale. So let's inhale the hands forward and let's sit back into an intense pose. Feet can be apart on this one because the focus is going to be more on the twist. Now let's take our right hand, put it on the hip so that we are pinning our elbow back, and let's take our left hand and cross it over. I'm going to use that leverage to open my chest towards the front. I can stay like this, or I can use this to lift my fingers towards the ceiling. Roll the shoulders away from the ears. And let's see, take a look down, and my hips are off. So I want to keep my knees level and parallel, and bring them together or apart depending on what's easier. Bring the hand back down to the hip. Slide it back to the knee. Let's inhale up. Reach forward, exhale into your forward fold. This time, let's hug the elbows, let the shoulders relax away from the ears, or towards the ears in this case. Relax the head. Exhale, relax the belly. And soften the knees, sit into the heels if we need to. All right, let's inhale up, rolling up. Exhale, hands come down. Actually, I'm sorry. Inhale, the hands back up. Sit back into your intense pose. We want to bring our thumbs back if we can. We're nice and warm, so we should have a little more depth to get the arms in alignment with the spine. This time, let's take our left hand, put it on the hip. Right hand crosses over the left knee. We're opening our chest to the left side. We can stay right here in this twist, or we can lift the fingers. But we want to make sure that we're not reaching with the arm, but that we're rolling the shoulder blade back and opening the chest. Again, check your knees, make sure that they are parallel, because if you're like me, you're trying too hard and that right knee is starting to stick out. Bring the hand back to the hip. Bring the hands to the knees. Inhale up. Reach forward, exhale into your forward fold. Now you're going to take your front leg, I don't know which direction you're facing, the leg closest to me, and step back. And we're going to walk ourselves so we're facing the front of the room into a wide leg forward fold. So on this one, same thing. We're going to relax the head, relax the shoulders. Exhale, relax the belly. If we need to be on a wall or use blocks, we can. All right, let's roll all the way up. Inhale the hands. Exhale, hands come down. One more time, deep breath in. Exhale, let's slide the right foot in.
A couple more deep breaths. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. One last time. Inhale. And exhale. And we are done. Thank you.